What I'm about to show you has a lot of blood in it. Please, if this is something that usually gets to you, look away. I don't want to ruin your day or your week even. There's a lot. It's a very violent clip. There's a lot of blood. Don't tell me I didn't warn you. Here we go. How do you want to do this?
I don't know. Here we go. Uh-oh.
Oh!
That's right.
You bested me this time. This is a video I uploaded back in 2019 of a game called Nidhogg. Shortly after upload, YouTube decided that this video should have limited ads. When I asked them to manually review it, they stood by their decision and said that the reason was there was too much blood and gore. In my many years of doing YouTube and a lot of videos that have gotten limited ads, this one's always stuck with me. I always found this one very funny. I, along with many other YouTubers, have played all kinds of violent games on here and YouTube lets them slide. But for some reason, this little game where you play two little characters, the art style here, I may as well have drawn this. This is where they decided you know what, Theo, this is too far. About 5 days after I had uploaded my best of 2022, it got age restricted as well as limited ads. Limited ads means that you don't get all the premium ads, I guess. A lot of advertisers choose not to advertise on videos that have too much violence or are what's considered controversial. So I got limited ads, meaning I'm going to make a lot less revenue on it, and it got age restricted, and that's a bigger blow because it means that you have to be 18 or older to watch the video. And now what this means is that in certain countries, you have to submit a government ID to prove your age before you can watch this video. So when you upload a video to YouTube, you get to tell them what rating you think it is. So you get to say that maybe there's not a lot of swearing and maybe there's not a lot of violence. I had looked at this one and the video has its first swear word almost 3 minutes into the video. And the violence isn't what I would consider excessive. So I ticked all these options and said, let's go. Everything was fine and dandy. It was performing really well, actually, until 5 days into it, it got the age restricted and limited ads. This is a big blow for me because this best of 2022 for the year 2023 is about 5% of my income from YouTube. So one, I'm losing out on a lot of revenue for the year. And two, it's one of my more hyped up videos. I love these. It's a lovely way to celebrate the year and for the community to get together. So the fact that it's basically unwatchable for a big part of the community who don't want to submit a government ID to watch it, that's just really sad to me. So what are my options? Well, I can choose for them to check again. I can say, hey, can I get a manual review on this? So what that does is sometimes it's just a robot or whatever that said, hey, there's a lot of swearing we're detecting in this. So then if you say, hey, I disagree, they have a manual review. A person comes and looks at it. So that's what I did. Now the video is 1 hour 20, 1 hour 15. And it didn't even take an hour for me to get another email saying, yeah, we're sticking by this. We're not going to remove the age restriction or the limited ads. Now, I'm not saying they have to watch through the whole video to confirm it, but I find it a little suspect that they were that quick on verifying it. Obviously, I imagine that they have systems where they just have a timestamp they go to what the error is, what the reason for it is, and then they say, yeah, this is all good, let's keep it limited. But the fact that it got verified that quickly, if anything, just made me more annoyed. So at that point, I get to see why. What's the reason for this? And the reason was that there was either swearing in the intro or an excessive use of swearing. Focal usage of profanity throughout the video, such as mentioned in every sentence. Now, I find this to be a very exaggerated description of my video, and obviously I disagree with it. And as I said, the first swear word wasn't until about 3 minutes into the video. So there's not much more I can do on YouTube at this point, but I can take it to Twitter. They have a support account on Twitter called @TeamYouTube. And in YouTube's defense, or just to give them a quick clap, it's very it's very responsive. I do find it a little ridiculous that I have to go to another website and not that I could talk to someone on YouTube through some sort of chat system. But that's where I have to take it, so that's where I took it. So I tweeted them. And after, well, I tweeted them, and then I tweeted them again, and I tweeted them again, and I may have tweeted them again. And then finally, they got back to me after, 5-6 days? And you know what? This is the first time I've ever seen this on YouTube. They took it back. They said they were wrong. They said there's nothing in this video that makes it deserve limited ads or an age restriction. And now the video is fine, fully monetized, and there's no age restriction. This is the first time I've ever seen this. 99 times out of 100, when you ask them to check something, they stay with the rating. Now, so here's the thing. When I tweeted this, I got a lot of people saying, ooh, like, that's a YouTube W. You don't see that very often. But that's like shooting someone in the leg and then healing them and saying, sorry, I regret it. And then you go, well done, man. Well done. Like, YouTube did this in the first place and got it wrong. Yes, it's good that they admitted that it was wrong and took it away, but there's clearly still a flaw in their system if, one, they detected that not only should this have limited ads, but it's so bad that it needs to be age restricted. And then two, it took them not even an hour to decide that this video should have limited ads and age restriction, but it took almost a week to realize that they were wrong and remove those restrictions. The fact that they have the resources to verify a video's rating within an hour, but when they actually are wrong, it takes them way longer to actually revert their changes. I have no words regarding that. These kind of mistakes that YouTube is making recently has been happening a lot recently, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen some of the videos that other YouTubers have put up about it. And that's kind of why I'm making this video. I think I'm a little bit pissed off. And I just need to just get it all out of me. Back in early 2019, I got access to this feature where you can rate your own videos. I was ecstatic about this because after a couple of years of this, it started with the adpocalypse and all these new guidelines coming in, they were suddenly making it a lot more clear for what exactly is okay, and they were putting some control and trust in their creators. Now, I want to be clear, it had been quite obvious for a while that you weren't allowed to swear in the intro, or you were coming with quite a big risk that the video would get limited. Here are some messages from me to my editors about this very thing. But as I said, early 2019, they come with, when you upload a video, I was allowed to say, hey, there isn't any swearing in the intro. Here's exactly what it said. This was okay by their standards back then. After a couple of years, they updated what was allowed swearing-wise. So at first they said you cannot have heavy swearing in the intro of the video. And then they said, infrequent usage of strong profanity like the F word after the opening or up to twice in approximately the first 30 seconds of the video. So suddenly they changed their viewpoint on it and they said, hey, you can swear now in the first 30 seconds. And they gave very specific details of saying up to twice. I loved this change because over the years, every now and then when a video was made and I talked to the editor about it, I had to say, hey, this clip is hilarious in the intro, but there's so much swearing. Can we put it somewhere else and put something where there's no swearing in the intro? We had to adjust our content quite a lot. And in some cases, we would instead just censor the swear. But sometimes we had to move it around. Either way, it was a little bit of a headache, and I don't like censoring myself. I think when you're making a funny video, it can really just kind of put you off, I think, and it won't be as funny. It takes you out of the moment, the immersion, shall we say. So when they said this and said you can swear now in the intro, I said, fuck yeah. And we started just putting clips where you could swear in the intro. There's plenty of clips over this when they had this rule where we're swearing in the intro because now it was allowed and they weren't getting limited. Cut to a year ago, January last year, we noticed that they've changed it again. Here is my editor Sunset on the 12th of January letting us know that he's noticed that you can now not swear once again in the intro of 15 seconds. So they're changing it up again. And there was no notification about this. I upload 2 videos per week, roughly. And so you end up kind of on autopilot mode because you're already doing all the moderating off of the rules that you already know when you're in the editing phase. So when you're uploading the video, I'm not going to read through every rule every time because I assume, like the dozens times previous, that it's going to be the same rules and I know which ones to click. There was no notification of this. We had to see it ourselves. We noticed, hey, this is changed. Oh, okay. So now we can't swear in the intro. Okay, we're not gonna cry about it. we started changing the videos again. So for the last year, we have been trying our hardest not to have swear words in the intro. Now, for whatever reason, quite recently, YouTube has been more on YouTubers' asses regarding these rules. A YouTuber by the name of RT Game has made a video, and I'm sure some of you guys have seen this because I know that Critical made a video talking about it. He had videos from years ago that have now become restricted based off of these new rules. Judging by that, it seems like YouTube is looking at older videos that were uploaded during a time where they had different guidelines, and they're now looking at them with their new guidelines. YouTube set these rules themselves and said that it was okay when it was uploaded back then. It's like legalizing weed, and then a year later, you make it illegal again, and then you see a video of some guy smoking weed during the time that it was legal and say, fuck it, we're gonna find this guy. This doesn't make any sense to me. The rule that is set when the video is uploaded should be the rule that that video follows. You shouldn't look back at videos and make them limited and fuck over the creator on them when he followed the rules perfectly. We're always trying our very hardest to make sure we're following YouTube's rules to a point where it doesn't ruin the video. We're always following that line. And can I just say that that line is very hard to spot sometimes. This is a video of a horror game called Madison. We made this video and we put it up just for members at first for a couple of days. And during that time, it got limited. Now, YouTube told me that it got limited because of nudity. There's a grandma that keeps popping up to scare you who happens to be naked. She's topless. So what do? We go back to the editing board and I ask my editor, Jeff, to censor this. So he then spends a day doing some Hollywood magic on every clip where the grandma shows up. And I asked him, I was that annoying that I said, hey, we need to censor this in a way where YouTube doesn't detect titties, but it does, but it doesn't interfere with the immersion for the viewer. Because this is a horror video, and if she pops up and she scares me as I'm playing, but if she's meant to scare you, the viewer, then you don't want to be thinking, oh, what's this huge like blur? You know, So Jeff sits down and he does a fantastic job and actually, I'm sorry, but he makes her flat-chested because that seems to be okay by just today's standards. And nobody noticed when we uploaded this video. Nobody noticed. He's done such a good job. He spent a day on this. The video's up, it's doing great, until 2 or 3 days later, it gets limited and age restricted once again. And when I asked them to review it, the feedback that they gave me is there's too much profanity. There's profanity used in the first 8 to 15 seconds. And if I click see more, it says that it's, you know, throughout the video, such as mentioned in every sentence. Now, there is no swearing in the intro of this video. I had Hobo, bless her heart, watch through the video and count and note for me every swear word that is said in this video to see what is considered too much swearing for YouTube. You want to know how much swearing there is in this video? 4 shits and 15 fucks. That is 19 swear words in a 19-minute long video. That is a swear per minute. There is no swear word in the intro. There is no swear word in the title and thumbnail, meaning that this is limited and age restricted because YouTube considers this video to be too much swearing. How is a swear word per minute too much swearing? You want to know what else grinds my gears about all this? YouTube has a built-in editor and it works pretty damn well. If I put up a video and a month later I realize that I want to take out a clip, I can use that editor to cut out a clip, and then when I click save, give it a day or two because I think it has to render behind the scenes, the clip is gone, the video's still there, but it's shorter. It also has a blur function. It's pretty damn good. I can select a text that I want to blur or an object, and it will trace it for me, and then afterwards I can adjust that. Now, what it doesn't have, unfortunately, is audio editing, so I cannot mute a part of the video. Censor it afterwards. That is something I wish they would fix. However, none of this matters because RT Game, the YouTuber I mentioned earlier, is facing a lot of issues with YouTube right now. He actually spoke to someone at YouTube about the possibility of editing a video to fix it. They said that once a video has been looked at by a human when you have asked them to review it, then you cannot fix it with the editor and have them review it again. This system is so backwards. If I have a video that gets limited and I don't know why, I have to ask them for a human review so that I get info as to what is wrong. But by doing so, I don't get to edit the video and have them remove the restrictions. You have a perfect system in place for it. Why isn't that possible? In a perfect world, when a video gets limited, I get to know the timestamp of where there's excessive swearing or too much blood, and then I can use their built-in editor, which already exists, to cut that out, and the limited ads are removed, and I get full monetization. But that's not how it is today. Instead, I have to go to Twitter and talk to them about it, and then eventually they'll tell me why. If you're going to tell me why on Twitter, why not just tell me why right away? So that's where we're at. In 2022, I had 9 videos with limited ads, compared to 2021, where I only had 1 video get limited ads. I have quite a few editors that I rely on YouTube revenue to pay, and if I can't rely on videos to get the revenue they're meant to, in order for my editors to spend a couple weeks on them, then I need to change my ways. So I'm looking at 2 options here. Either I fully censor all my videos and really try to follow the rules. Now the issue with that is that it might not help, and the other issue is it's going to severely lower the quality of my videos, because I try to give a genuine vibe in my videos, and if it's constantly being censored, then obviously that's going to bring you out of it, and it's not going to feel very real. So the other option I have is to do sponsorships in videos. I have more control over the ad. I guarantee that the video I'm putting up is going to make me enough revenue to cover the costs of my editors, and any issues that the advertisers have with the video can be addressed before the video goes up. Fun fact, I once did a sponsored video where the sponsor wanted me to censor a burp in the intro. Was it ridiculous? Yes. Did I mind doing it? No, that was okay. It had nothing to do with the content. I laughed and said, yeah, okay, is it ready then? And they said yes. And lastly, doing sponsored ads in videos allows me to be a little creative with it and hopefully keep it entertaining. So what am I saying here? Well, I've been doing YouTube for a long time, and while I love the fact that their monetization system allows me to do this for a living as well as pay out a fair wage to multiple editors, I feel, especially recently, but it's been a few years now, that I struggle being able to rely on them to know that a video will pay me what I assumed it'll pay me. A lot of the time, it just feels a little bit luck-based. So because of that, for the year 2023, until I see YouTube come with some sort of notable change on this, I'm going to be experimenting a lot more with doing integrated sponsorships in videos. I find that it flows very well, and I find that I'm more connected with the sponsor. Kind of like the way that your Corsair products now can be connected with Philips Hue lights. Corsair has sponsored this channel for many years now, and I'm very happy to say that if you own a Philips Hue light and a Philips Hue bridge, you can now connect your lighting with the RGB of your Corsair products. All you gotta do is update your Corsair software to the latest version and enable the Philips Hue integration in the settings menu. A new tile should now appear on your homepage and you can get it set up. And now, as with all of your other Corsair gear, you can include your Philips Hue lights to be synced up with all the other lighting, and you could set it up however you want. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Thank you, Corsair, for that little sponsored segment. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.